When I'm chatting with CDOs and heads of data on a pretty much daily basis, one thing comes up in our conversations when we're talking about mindsets and growth and leadership journey, and that's imposter syndrome. Now, many of you are probably expecting me to say that female leaders suffer with this greater than their male and non-binary counterparts, but that's not what I'm seeing. Pretty much everyone across the board talks to me about the feeling of imposter syndrome, whether you're coming from the business side into the data function or whether you've grown up through the technology side. Most people have found themselves feeling like an imposter in their journey. Now, personally, I absolutely hate the term imposter syndrome, mainly because it places the onus on the individual rather than the environment. And in my experience, and hearing from data leaders themselves, 9 times out of 10, it's the environment that is making them feel that way rather than them actually doing something wrong or them not having the appropriate skills, in which case that's invoking that imposter syndrome feeling. And I'm going to explain this to you using sunflowers. Behind me is my greenhouse, which is now looking pretty empty. And that's because all of my plants are now out in the garden enjoying the summer weather we've been having. But back in March, it was absolutely full to the brim of seed trays. And one of those seed trays was full of sunflowers. Now, these were in the same compost, same watering schedule, same heat exposure, and apart from the individual seeds themselves, basically all the same. Now, there's always going to be 1 or 2 that die off, whether they've been nibbled by a bug or perhaps they experienced a little bit too much watering based on how level the seed tray was. But really, the majority were at the same height and same growth rate, so you could say that the environment was exactly the same. Now, from this stage, we take them out into the garden, and this is where I'm going to show you the analogy between my sunflowers and imposter syndrome. So the first example is this one, and this was potted on in March 2025. As you can see, it's probably about 1.5 feet tall. It's got a little bit of a bud of a flower, so there is potential that it may flower, but overall, it's not done very well. So this was restricted to a single pot, same watering as the others, and it was left in pretty good sun condition, but overall quite a restricting environment. And this is the second example, so grown exactly the same time as the other one that I've just shown you, but I've placed it in soil that has had some nutrition and it gets some level of sunlight throughout the day, but as you can see, this isn't the ideal place for pests and it's not doing as well as it could. We do have a sunflower, we do have it flowering, but it's certainly not the best it could be. And this is my final example. This is in a prime location for sunflowers. It's got really good sunlight all day long and the ground is absolutely packed with nutrition. And as you can see, it's doing really, really well. So which sunflower are you? Are you flourishing and reaching your potential? Or are you feeling a bit restricted and not quite flourishing? And this is why I really dislike imposter syndrome as a concept, because a lot of the talk on imposter syndrome, and when you go to conferences or you read articles or you listen to podcasts about imposter syndrome, it talks about, being a boss and honing your confidence. But no matter how confident this sunflower could be, it's never going to reach the heights or flourish to its full potential because of its environment. So whilst I always think it's worth meditating and working on your mindset and that confidence piece, I do think it's really important you consider your environment, consider how it's having an impact on you and what you can do. It's really, really crucial for data leaders, and I hear it day in, day out. Those who are striving and flourishing are supported by their business. They are communicating that value that they bring really, really well, and the business enables them to achieve what they set out to do. So many strategies aim for the stars, but unfortunately the business does not provide the nourishment and support for that data team and that data leader to do everything that they could be doing. So have a think about that today. Are you feeling imposter syndrome, or are you feeling the impacts of an environment that isn't nourishing you to be the best that you could be? If you like these sorts of videos, do make sure you follow and connect with me. I'm always open on DMs, but happy Wednesday, LinkedIn, and thanks for joining me around the garden.